CBSN Minnesota morning update time. Hello, hello. How are you? Great to have you with us today for our digital news update that we bring you every morning right at this time. I'm Jessen Derusha. Yesterday, what did you think? I tweeted that 42 didn't quite feel as warm as I was hoping. It was windy. It was windy yesterday. The sun was nice. We love the sun. You're going to get more of that. Today's forecast brought to you by yesterday, now with less wind. So we're excited about that. Yeah, should be a nicer day today. Temperature-wise, well, yesterday we got to 48. It won't get quite that warm today, but who cares? It won't be windy. It should feel better. Some nice sunshine and more melting. It's going to be this deal for the rest of the week. Warmest day of the week will be Sunday, but as is typical for this kind of late winter, early spring, comes with more wind. All right, let's talk about this. Have you been hunting for a house in the Twin Cities over the last year? It's harder than it's ever been. Low inventory, low interest rates. I mean, it is common to have multiple bids on many properties, especially those kind of starter homes in the $200 to $350 kind of range, and anything in the city of Minneapolis and in the hot neighborhoods of Minneapolis or St. Paul or the inner ring suburbs. We talk with the local realtor for some advice, like, all right, how are you going to win these? And they say, well, you know, have a plan. How about the advice from the realtor? You know what their number one advice was? Have a good realtor. Hey, how about that? My number one advice for like getting quality local news, have a quality local news person you can trust. That's what I say. But this tip is interesting, and I've heard this before. Writing a personal letter to the seller. That helps when there are multiple offers. I have many friends who have done this. They write their sob story. I promise to take care of your house. I love it so much. I have one child and my wife is pregnant. Please sell me your home. As you may be able to tell, I find this very strange. When I sell my house in Maple Grove, is someone going to write some sob story to me? Oh, the stories these walls could tell. Like, I don't know, really? But I want to know what you think. Would you write a letter to get a house? Have you done it before? Do you know someone who's done it? What would you put in the letter? Make me sell my house to you. Leave your comments on Facebook, on the WCCO Facebook page, and I will read some in that same dramatic voice coming up. Bummer when we found out that Kyle Rudolph was being released, being cut by the Minnesota Vikings. He was cut loose yesterday, and I think we all knew this was going to happen, but still it was a bummer. Kyle has been with the Vikings for a decade, drafted in the second round, has been an all-star. On the Pro Bowl twice. My time as a Minnesotan is just getting started. Kyle and his wife Jordan and their kids will be staying here in Minnesota. Still involved in charity, but he'll likely be picked up by another team. You can read his whole letter at WCCO.com. Every year, remember, Kyle Rudolph would fly kids to Rudolph to see Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and do the whole Christmas Village thing every year. That's just one of the many charitable things he did in this town. Major announcement from the White House. President Joe Biden says we're now going to have enough vaccines for everybody in the country by the end of May. So that is 2 full months ahead of what the last forecast from the federal government was. So what happened? Well, Johnson & Johnson and competitor Merck made a deal where they're going to, Merck will produce the J&J vaccine. Pretty cool. Part of the effort by the federal government to invoke the Defense Act that kind of can force companies to work together, but these guys worked it out. Should still take most of the summer to kind of literally get those vaccines in arms, but good news. MDH says they're encouraged by the news out of the White House that every American will have the opportunity to get vaccinated by the end of May. Right now, about 17% of Minnesotans have received the vaccine, so we have a ways to go. But the over 65, I think I saw yesterday, we're at 50% for that, so that's good. On track to get there by the end of the month. They're hoping to get to 70%. And they also talked about who is next in line. Group 1B. 1B, you're up. In April, And so we're looking at high-risk health conditions, so people under 65 with certain high risks, so like Down syndrome, maybe active cancer treatments. Those are a couple examples. And then they'll be targeting essential workers, and in 1B, they're talking about food processing facilities. So other essential workers like airport, grocery store, postal workers, first responders, they will follow soon after. This might be the best vaccine video yet. Dolly Parton, as she said, getting a dose of her own medicine.
Vaccine, 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 vaccine. I'm begging of you, please don't hesitate. Vaccine, vaccine.
Oh, come on.
Vaccine,
Isn't that great?
vaccine.
Dolly changed that. That's Jolene, of course. And the dose of her own medicine line is so great because she donated $1 million to Vanderbilt, and that helped fund the Moderna vaccine that she received. Very cool. Texas opening back up. Republican Governor Greg Abbott removing all the restrictions. The mask mandate goes away. Capacity restrictions go away. Everybody will be at 100% capacity if they so choose. Private businesses may choose to keep their own rules in place, you know, like the Targets out there may still require masks. But Texas, the largest state to roll back COVID restrictions. St. Patrick's Day 2 weeks away, and the CDC, man, someday a researcher will do a whole analysis of the messaging during COVID. And the CDC suggestion 1 year in that people have virtual St. Patrick's Day celebrations has to be about as dumb as the messaging as you could expect. Just, do you need to tell people this? Just tell people, as they are saying, we're not out of the woods. We can't get together in big groups like this. We can't be packing in the bars. Of course we shouldn't do that. Good to reinforce that. Telling people they should have like St. Patrick's Day via Zoom, I think makes people say, are you guys, like, are you all right? Are you okay? So in St. Paul, they got rid of the parade. Minneapolis, no parade. St. Paul doing a virtual parade. A drive-through kind of thing with, you know, Miss Shamrock and Mr. Pat. So they're trying to make the best of it. 2 years with no St. Patrick's Day. That is tough for a lot of restaurants and bars, that's for sure. It can be their busiest day of the year. But not safe, not ready for that. St. Paul Saints are going to have to wait a little bit longer. I think we've all been excited to see the first season as the St. Paul Saints are the Twins AAA affiliate. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to have a much higher quality of baseball in St. Paul, still with all the fun. But Major League Baseball is saying we're going to push back the AAA season 1 month. So by wiping out that first month of play, the first game will be on the road on May 4th. So the first St. Paul Saints AAA game will be on May 11th. MnDOT announced the winners of its Name the Snowplow competition. 8 snowplows now have names. A lot of votes, 100,000 or so. People cast votes. You got to pick 8. And so here are the biggest winners. Number 1, Plowy McPlowface. That got like 65,000 votes, and the closest to that was about 30,000. So the internet loves that hilarious joke from 5 years ago. Here are some of the other names. Plow Bunyan, good. Oh, just gonna plow right past you. Very good. Truck formerly known as Plow, F. Salt Fitzgerald, very good. These are all great. Darth Blader, Snow-Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Duck, Orange Truck, instead of Gray Duck. Very good. Referees take a lot of heat, but we love this story. I was a referee as a youngster. I was a basketball ref, and I was a softball ump. I did a little soccer. I wasn't very good at it. Hockey, I think, is the hardest because you have to skate, and you're in the thick of all the action. But this hockey referee came to the rescue before the hockey game even started.
How about that?
Chris Jessen, we salute you, sir. Well done. The Orono Mound Westonka hockey game, and the recording didn't play. So what are you going to do? Well, you can't just skip it. Chris Jessen goes over and belts it out. Perfect. Perfect performance. Gets the stick tap. Well done, Chris. Nice job. Let's get back to our talker today. It's about buying a home. Would you write a letter to seal the deal? Amanda says, I have friends who are trying to buy right now and have lost out on many houses that got multiple offers. Yeah. If writing a letter was recommended, I'd do it. Yeah, of course. Jenny says, I can see how much you love your home and the care you put into it. I can't wait for our kids to play in the big backyard. Sold! Take the house, Jenny. Well done. Becca says, the lady who bought my parents' house wrote them a letter. They accepted her offer because she had a young daughter and would have a family in the house like they did. Yeah, we have such emotional attachment to our homes, right? And we want someone to love it the same way we did. Thanks, Becca. Kevin says, Kevin knows how to write a letter that would get it done for me. I'd really like to buy your house. What kind of beer do you like? See, now you're talking. If they said the way to get a home seller to sell to you was to drop off a growler of craft beer, bingo. Now you got it. Kevin, thank you. A little spotted cow. Overrated spotted cow. Diana Peterson. We've been looking for a new home in southern Minnesota for a year. We're ready to try anything. Diana, I recommend dropping off a case of Haggis. You know? Who doesn't like Brenda? I would write a letter if there was time to do so. Yeah, I don't think Brenda's saying she doesn't have time, but these homes go so fast. Sean. Depends, are they going to fact check my fake life story? Like, that is for sure. I would make up a story, right? You're trying to, I mean, this is marketing. This is like a personal ad. Melanie says, we did that. We wrote the letter. Not sure it helps, but some people do have an emotional attachment and would like to know who's buying it. Yeah. I think that's so weird. It's just, you're selling your house. Just sell it. Like, the letter thing is so funny to me. Thanks, Melanie. Appreciate it. We sold our house years ago and moved across the street. And I will say, it is a weird thing to still live on the same block as your old house, because when you're taking a walk down the block, you're like looking in the window. Hey, they paint the kitchen? Why'd they paint the kitchen? Why'd they take out that plant? I put that plant in! Why'd you take my hydrangea out? You could have called me. I would have planted it in my new house. Pretty good. All right, well, good luck to everybody finding a house. I hope your letter does the trick. Thanks for watching the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update. We'll see you tomorrow.